Hi, it's Nick here and welcome to today's episode. Today we're going to be speaking about how can I stay focused when I feel like I'm being distracted all day while I'm trying to run my business. Now, I can't tell you how many people suffer with what I call the distraction bug, right? Oh, it's a shiny object, it's a bit here, but sometimes you're not being distracted, somebody else is distracting you. So it's really important to get this under wraps or else you end up being distracted all day and really not get anything done. So number one, first of all, it's important to understand and identify, what are the things that are really distracting you, right? Is it something that's internal? And what I mean by internal is it your mindset kind of wandering? I wonder what somebody else is doing. I wonder, hey, what John's doing? I'll give him a call. Hey, I wonder what's going on Facebook. Hey, this is cool, but I wonder what races are coming up at the racetrack. I wonder what, all of these different things that we think about. I wonder what I'm going to eat tomorrow. Any of these things, right? That's what's called an internal distraction. So first of all, I want you to identify, what the distraction is for you. And then you've got an external distraction. Maybe your office is set up in a way where everybody keeps on walking through that. That's a distraction. Maybe you're somebody that everybody needs to ask the questions to while you're trying to get onto your work. Maybe that's a distraction. Maybe you've set yourself up to go, hey, I'm the only one that can answer any of these questions. That's a distraction, and it's an external distraction. So your environment has got a lot to do with it, whether it's your internal environment or external environment. And I'm going to get you to identify them, and guess what? Write them all down. Why? Because that gets rid of them up here. That could be a distraction and actually puts them in front of you, right? So number one, make sure you identify what they're about and then write them down. Number two, I'm going to get you to write down and identify what's called the patterns to that distraction. And what I mean by that is, what patterns are setting this up? Is it that, maybe you're in a situation where, the activity that you're doing is in the wrong environment? Are you trying to get really focused on maybe writing a book or writing a quote and, you're in the middle of an office that you've got set up at home while the kids are running around, right? And the pattern is that at 4:00, the kids come home and undoubtedly that pattern is going to affect you and it's going to distract you. See, that's a pattern that's created externally. But how about if there's a pattern internally that you get what I call shiny object syndrome? Now, I used to have that where every 4 minutes or so I need to click screens just to check out something else because I'm thinking about, stuff that I need for my boat while I'm writing a quote or while I'm writing a blog piece or whatever it may be. Now, you've got to really understand what are the patterns of interruption here? What are the patterns of distraction? Is it something that you can avoid? Can you wait till everybody, goes to sleep? And if you're in a family and you've got a home office that you can do. Or maybe do you need to move offices where you are? Or maybe, do you just need to do it maybe in the comfort of your own car while there's nobody in there that you can get some emails back? I know that kind of sounds crazy, but sometimes in the garage, in your car, may work out better than being distracted all day everywhere that you are, right? So you got to understand where's the patterns coming from, right? Number three, I'm going to get you to think about breaking the day down. So break the day down into small, incremental sections. And why do we do this? Why do we break it down into small incremental sections? Have you ever noticed that the biggest distraction isn't over a short period of time? Usually it's over a long period of time. So if you're going to do this, you might as well say to yourself, as an example, let's say if you've got to respond to 10 emails. Just think, I'm going to do 5 emails and I'm going to take a little 1 or 2 minute break and then I'm going to do another 5 emails. So that kind of sounds like, Nick, it's a bit counterintuitive. I've got a distraction taking the break. Well, it isn't, because what you've actually done is to go on, you know what, I'm just getting these 5 emails done, then I'm allowing myself to have that distraction and then I'll get the next 5 emails done. So it's almost like a planned distraction, because if it's a planned distraction, you're in control. A distraction is when you're not in control of something and somebody else is upsetting that environment, whether it's internally, that's you, or externally, somebody else. So if you break it down into little incremental sections of your day, it's easier to get stuff done than being distracted 50 times trying to get the one thing done. Does that make sense? So you need to be able to set that up. And number 4 is, right, have a frequent and calculated break. And here's what I mean by this. If you've got, right, internal distractions that every 10 or 15 minutes, it feels like you're getting fidgety and you need to move around, why not, right, set it up so you got a little break? Now, here's what I like to do and what I've helped my clients with. I like to get, instead of sitting on a chair, sit on a Swiss ball. So every 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I can set an alarm on my computer screen. And guess what? It just says, hey, stand up, stretch yourself out, do whatever, and you're good to go. Now, it doesn't have to be every 10 minutes. It could be every 30, every 1 hour, depending on what you do. Now, if you're like me and you get into the zone, it's really cool. The worst thing is distractions. Have you ever noticed that to try to recover from a distraction, it takes you 2.5 times to try to focus again on what you need to do? So making sure that you have planned breaks is really, really important. Now, I'm going to get you to try this at home, right? I'd love to feedback. Now, let me kind of go through these again in a little bite-sized chunks. Number 1, make sure you identify what the distraction is and write that down. Number 2, find out what patterns are causing that distraction. Is it internal or is it external, right? Number 3, break the day down into small little sections so you can deal with the distractions and get at least some stuff done that you really want to get done. Then number 4, make sure you've got calculated breaks, because if not, it's just going to be distracted all the time. Sound good? All right, if you enjoyed this video and like to see more like it, make sure you subscribe to our channel. And most importantly, check us out at Upcoach Business Growth Programs. I'm Nick Sala, and remember, the only way is up.